What does that mean? This is these people. What does that even mean? I hope it says we're going live. I don't even know.
Right? Rethinking Marxism, like in a good way.
Rethinking Marxism. I didn't get a notification. I hope it's actually going live. Can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Drop me a comment.
Don't you play that stupid music before they start our show?
Yeah, I know that. And it
Throws me
doesn't go.
off.
Me too. I was like, oh, is
Throws
that
me
it?
off,
And then it plays it again before it starts.
I'm used to him calling me an asshole and then saying,
You know,
this guy.
right. If you guys are tuning in right now, make sure that you hit like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Let's see those likes and those thumbs up pop up. Hit the comments. Drop some comments. Just say hi. Give a hand wave. Give a thumbs up. Give us a smile today. Because whatever you do, it helps the algorithm. We're getting ready to go live here in a couple of moments on the air. We're about T-minus 30 seconds. Oh, T-minus 10 seconds.
T-minus, they don't agree with our views.
Not yet. Hey, everybody out there in Radio Land. Thank you guys for tuning in to WRFZ 106.3. You are listening to The Divide with Marcus C. Williams and
Ryan McKenzie.
We are here. We are in the house. We are here in the ear of the public and of the United States of America to talk to you about the important issues that are facing our nation every day that we don't often get a chance to talk about, but are continuously serious problems that are dividing our nation. And we're looking at figuring out how we can move forward together, as well as encouraging people to start getting active, because that's how we're going to change everything together. Brian, what you got going on today?
Getting active is huge. It doesn't start, 2 years from now or 4 years from now. It starts now. Whether you're, on either side of the aisle, if you're waiting till 6 months before the election, you're running in a losing election, a losing campaign. You got to make sure that if you're looking to get involved into running for office, start talking about it now. Get your information done. If you're looking to just get involved, I already signed up to be a poll worker for the next one.
All right, that's a nice hefty 18 hours.
Yeah, something like that. I was just like, I'll do it. They asked me,
the pay is pretty good though, right?
I guess so. Yeah. I just figured I'd do it for the sake of doing it. But yeah, interesting week for sure. Seen a lot of ups and downs with people. A lot of people freaking out. A lot of people happy. So what do you think, Marcus?
Listen, man, this election, oh man, I am so glad the election is over, because I'm free to be me and talk about what I want to talk about. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But I just think that I am very thankful on the national level that the Republicans were able to take the Senate and the presidency. I know a lot of people.
It looks like they're going to take the House too. So
coming for the House.
Yeah.
I hope we get more than a majority in the House.
Yep.
And what I really want to see is I want to see all of the Republicans work together to actually do something positive, because
Correct.
We know that a lot of the stuff that goes on in there is different people bickering and infighting. People sometimes say it's a uniparty. Because when you get that high in a level of politics,
mm-hmm.
A lot of these people have similarly aligned interests.
You're already seeing it in the Senate. The Senate majority leader. You're seeing people that have pushed against Trump in the past. You're seeing Rick Scott, who's always been with Trump,
mm-hmm.
and you're seeing a little infight there, and you're seeing a secret ballot election, which I don't agree with at all.
I forget the other person who it was.
Yeah. What exes did I just say? He's talking about too. But Rick Scott Thune and whatever.
Guy,
Either way, the other guy.
The other guy. I really wanted Senator Kennedy.
He's awesome. Right?
He's fantastic,
awesome.
right?
He just tells it like it is, man.
He's old enough. Come on, just give him one shot. You know what I'm saying?
And he'd just be hilarious to listen to up there too.
He is the best, man.
The one-liners he says.
If we ever wanted to get a clip to do for a comedy special,
right?
We would just line up his clips.
Just play him.
But it's not that it's funny. It's just that he's so real with this.
He's hard hitting with it. He takes humor and kind of like we do, take humor and smash it into reality so it bites, so it hits, so people understand it. He always makes those comparisons like, oh, it's like this or like that. And it's always comical, but people remember it. Yeah, right. Oh man.
It's great to see what's going on that level. I know some of you guys might be out there that are not so happy that Trump won. I understand your team didn't win.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is this. Largely what we've seen in this nation is us be divided by, oh, somebody's racist, or oh, somebody's this, or oh, somebody's that. And largely what we don't hear is policies.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly. Yep.
I was on another radio show the other day. I was speaking with these two ladies, and they were like, oh, Trump's this, Trump's that. I'm not voting for him. I don't like Kamala, but I'm not voting for him. I said, okay. I said, that's fair. I said, well, what are two policies that he had that you disagree with, either before or now? You know, and they said, oh, well, I can't name any of his policies.
There you go.
I said, that's a problem. I said, okay, fair enough. Right?
Yeah.
Maybe, well, what about Kamala? Right? I said, name two per policies or two policies of the Biden administration that you like. Crickets. I said, you know what? I said, man, we're really scraping the bottom of the barrel here with stuff that you know about to go out and be voting. And I said, okay, well, name me one of the people that is the head of one of the departments in the cabinet right now. Crickets. And
Crickets.
This is what happens when we get the media to sensationalize what's going on.
Exactly. And that's part of what I have written down here about, I said, the bottom line is the left put out a bad product. And when you put out a bad product, it's hard to sell that product. No matter how good your marketing is, no matter if you have $1 billion or not. I mean, when you have $1 billion and you put out a product like that, it's still a bad product. It was still Kamala Harris.
Did you see the left is freaking out right now? And they got this new, they're like, we're buying all the dolls because we need emotional support dolls. I'm like, we really have a serious, like, I knew we had a mental health issue.
Yeah, we got issues with the universities canceling classes and letting people color and stuff. Safe space. Come on, grow up. There's no safe spaces in life.
But somebody was elected,
right?
And you're having a mental meltdown over it. Like that is that is legitimately insane. Like, I mean, like that is a mental health.
Like if the other side was elected, we'd still be here at the show. We'd still be like, okay, I hope Harris does a good job. I hope things get better. I hope she, does this. But in no way, shape, or form am I going to sit home for 3 days, crying in my bed.
It's crazy, brother.
It's insane.
And I bring up the dolls because you mentioned marketing and selling stuff, right? There's this one doll that Barbie just released, not Barbie, Mattel, but same difference, you know what I'm saying? And it's from their Wicked series. So the dolls on the box, it had a misprint for the website. And it went to the Wicked website, which is the pornographic website. And Mattel came out and they're like, we apologize. And I'm like,
yeah, was it a misprint?
I don't think that was no, but seeing how they're hypersexualizing everything today, I don't think that it was a misprint. I think it was part of a collective effort to subvert a lot of things. Like maybe the people at the top didn't intend that to go out like that.
Exactly, but there was somebody along the chain there that was like, you know what?
And did you see and before you get back to that, with this crazy nonsense, did you see that the U of R is having the bondage and S&M
Yes, I did see that. I couldn't believe that.
School,
that's insane.
And this is an email they're sending out to all of the students.
And it's an on-campus school event.
This is what they're teaching, what they want your children to
those
be,
are 18-year-olds,
hypersexuality and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And BDSM or whatever it's called.
Listen, BDSM in your own time.
Yeah.
That is not something that is part of an educational curriculum that is
no way, shape,
any
or form
school campus. Okay. This is like those crazy people in San Francisco that were like, we want money in the budget to have a sex dungeon. Like that's a real thing. You guys can go look.
I want money in my budget for a sex dungeon. But,
but in public, like this is not
right.
This is especially when it comes to education. You see what they're doing, and we're talking about bad products here. Like this is something that's being sold to and marketed to the youth and to the children. And again, we wonder why people are so messed up.
Yeah, it goes along the lines with the men and women's sports. I mean, even Joe Biden stepped up there. He goes, she made a mistake by not just saying, I'm against men and women's sports. He goes, I would have said it. He said, I would have straight up said, I'm against men and women's sports. Because guess what? If you look at the numbers, 86% of this country, Democrats and Republicans are against that issue.
I still want to know, does she know what a woman is?
No, absolutely not.
I want to know. And you guys, I know some of you guys that might be laughing and taking it funny. Listen, I heard that he plays up his role as being soft.
Yeah.
And really he is something else behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's what I heard.
I heard she was blaming him and screaming at him behind the scenes too, like,
Probably.
"Oh, your scandals are killing me." This and that.
Listen, him and his maids and
beating up that lawyer
and his ex-girlfriend and all of this stuff. And I'm like, I don't think that his scandals. Like, I barely heard about his scandals. All I know is every time she got on the TV, she said something else crazy.
Right? Yeah. Oh my God. And that's what I said. I'm like, I had this all written down. I'm like, when you have, like I said, a product that's defective. I mean, her campaign was based on two things.
Hold on. Let me clarify for those out there that might want to report this. He is not saying that Kamala Harris herself is defective, like a toy that should go back. However, the policies and stuff that she was putting
her
out,
whole campaign and the leadership in the campaign, when you have a campaign that's based on two things, and basically they ran on abortion, which is whatever, that's what they run on. But the second thing was just Trump. It was Trump.
Trump socialist.
Exactly. Trump every time she moved, she moved all the way to Nazi fascist, like we said, and her surrogates didn't do her any favors. I mean, they're out there saying some dumb stuff. So Trump doesn't surround himself with any intelligent women. And next thing you know, you got Megyn Kelly coming up there on stage and talking, and Tulsi Gabbard and Nikki Haley and things like that. And it's like, to insult a poll. But basically what they were doing is insulting the voters. And when you start insulting voters, that's not the campaign way. That's not the way you want to go in a campaign. When she went on The View and wouldn't answer what she would do different from Joe Biden, that's an easy question. Just say, while I agree with a lot of the stuff, I would have done this differently at the border. I would have done this different economically. You could still be loyal to your boss and run your own campaign.
What do you mean? They're the same person.
They are.
What did Joe Biden say? What did he say? There's no daylight between me and Joe Biden.
Correct.
That's what she said out of her mouth.
And he said there's nothing that she wasn't involved in.
We know that he's been deteriorating since before he's been in office. So it's not like any of us believe that he was actually running everything.
No.
So I'm sure that she was in a lot of those major meetings and stuff.
Absolutely.
And she said that she was there everywhere, and that's what came out of her mouth.
Correct.
Now, if you guys are watching us online, I do encourage you to hit like, share, and subscribe. Please do that real quick. Drop us some comments, drop us some hearts. And if you guys are following us on the radio, make sure that you're encouraging people to tune in on Mondays to our show, 2:30 to 4 p.m. We are here talking about the subjects that you need to hear. So let's get back
every Monday. Yep. It's the things she did. And then, she went into the debate and people were like, oh, she did a solid job in the debate. She did this and that. But those lines that she spit out in that debate were the same lines she spit out at every single interview. And when they had asked her a question about the economy, and she would start, it became a Saturday Night Live skit, the middle-class family thing, and she still kept rolling with it. At least like Jen Psaki, when they started calling her Circle Back Jen, she stopped saying it. Harris kept going with it. And it's just the mistakes that she made in the campaign were not only, they were ultimately, devastating, and they killed the campaign.
Right.
You had, you had them talking about Trump constantly 24/7 about the Nazi, about this and that. But you even had Obama coming in and talking about hoaxes that had been debunked, the Charlottesville hoax. For those of you who don't know, they say what the Charlottesville thing is, which a lot of you do. They said Trump said Nazis and white supremacists were fine people. That's not true. If you watch the entire video, which takes about literally 2 minutes, Trump says there was fine people on both sides. And I'm not talking about the white supremacists and neo-Nazis. They should be condemned. I'm talking about the people who had permits, who were historians and people like that. It's a real simple quote. So to bring that up 7 years later, when when it's been on Snopes and all that, I don't know if Obama and them were intentionally sabotaging her campaign or what they were doing, but it was insane. Then did you see Joe Biden show up to the voting booth in bright red? She knows the optics.
He should have worn the hat.
Oh my God!
He should have worn the hat on his way in there. Now they're talking about, what Joe Biden should do. First of all, don't tell the president what he should do. like you're out here, the ones that are
Mhm.
running the presidency. I don't want none of these talking heads in the news nowhere telling nobody nothing, because all of them are a crock of crap. And
Right?
most of them, and I said this on the other show, if you guys follow me on my page or on the Marcus C. Williams channel on YouTube, I do a podcast every Sunday, 6:30 to 7:30. It's called The Elephant in the Room. I encourage you to go check it out. But I talked about how all of these guys are members of the Screen Actors Guild.
Yep, yep, yep.
Like they're nothing but actors.
They're actors. They read
reporters,
words off a teleprompter.
So who's really pushing that idea that Joe Biden should step down?
Mhm.
And it started off, Joe Biden should step down to save her the disgrace of having to certify the election.
Yes.
Now they're saying that he should step down so that she could become the president for a while, and then maybe something might happen with Trump and maybe Vance, and then this, and then who knows?
Who knows? With the
Who knows?
well, how about it's the same people who are pushing Sotomayor to step. Who are, she's insulted by this, and I don't blame her. Who are you to tell a 70-year-old woman that she should step down just in case, so something doesn't happen to you over the next 4 years and Trump get another Supreme Court justice? Sotomayor is the most reliably left justice on that court. So for the left to be pushing her to step down is crazy, because guess what? If she does step down, there's no guarantee they're going to jam one in between now and January anyways. Actually, there's a good chance they won't.
Firstly, pause. Okay. Secondly, with that being said, think about it like this. It's very clear that they're not caring about the best interests of the country.
Correct.
It's about what they believe is best for the political elite in their party.
Mhm.
And that's a very serious thing.
It's a very serious thing. And we've seen that on both sides, over the last couple decades, but it's been tamed to an extent on the right, and you still see the Mitch McConnells and those guys in there, but they're getting, if you notice, they're getting pushed down. Where on the left, it's a narrative built at the top, and it kind of just funnels down. It's like trickle down with narratives, or whatever you want to call it. That's how it rolls on the left, and it's now it's hurt them more than helped them. And a lot of people are saying, on the air, they're saying, well, we should look at ourselves and what we did wrong. And then they get attacked like a bunch like an injured dog, a bunch of dogs attacking them. They're like, it's crazy. It's like, we don't look at ourselves. It was because of misogyny and racism and this and that. And it's like, well, no, it really wasn't because of that. It was, again, you put out a defective product, and that's what happens.
That's exactly what happens. It's interesting to me to see what's exactly going on. And when we look at what's going on with the left right now, we have them programmed the minds of the masses and the populace to a point where they're just regurgitating. And it's not even talking points anymore.
No,
they're regurgitating feelings and emotions.
Yeah, like we're gonna die. My sister's gonna die now because Trump's in office. Like, where do you get that from? I want to know some facts.
I saw some girl, and I don't know where she was from in the Caribbean, but I think her dad was like, she's second generation, so her dad was like from Jamaica or somewhere, right? And she got mad, and she was like, "Well, I don't like Trump now even more than ever because he made me have to disown my dad because my dad voted for him."
Whoa. Did accountability leave the room here? Because you just said you disowned your dad.
Yeah, maybe I saw a white girl cry on the TV on the internet about that too. It's like, it's all his fault that I can't talk to my father anymore.
Yeah, I saw one lady say she hopes her family chokes on turkey at Thanksgiving. She said, I hope my family who voted for Trump chokes on turkey at Thanksgiving. I'm like, wow.
Did you see the one lady that killed her family because of it?
Yeah, I thought it was a guy.
Was it a guy?
Yeah, he killed his wife and his 2 kids. Like, that's insane. Like,
But this is what a lot of these people, unfortunately,
like, you took that reaction a little too far, buddy. I'm sorry.
It's instability.
It's instability. It's mental illness.
It
truly is.
Well, what do you mean? We've got kids running around talking about their dogs and birds and ghosts and lizards, and that's not a mental illness?
Yeah, right.
But it's to be celebrated. You're brave because you're a lizard person.
Right.
Well, not that type of lizard.
Yeah.
Not that type. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, of course.
Because you're identifying as a parakeet.
It's
insane.
The whole thing is when you get to the point where your hatred of a person doesn't allow you to even bring in any more information or understand or even want to learn any more about a party, a person, or even your own party. You've lost your mind. You've lost your mind, because if you lose the ability to listen and learn, it's all over. And when you get that angry and emotional, you're not going to listen to anything. That's the bottom line. These people are nuts. They're nuts.
Yeah, it's really a very serious problem because what's happened is the Democrats continue to play on emotionality and force precepts that are completely false.
Completely false.
Completely false. They have no basis in reality. And when you check them on that, they don't have anything to substantiate.
No, they just get mad usually.
Again, emotions. This is what they're playing on. And they know, unfortunately, we've become a very soft and passive and sissified society.
Very much so.
And this is because of what they've done with the education system, because they've taken fathers out of the home.
That's a huge part of it, yep.
Because they push toxic masculinity. Don't be masculine.
Another huge part of it,
you know what I'm saying? And don't be a traditional family person. Don't submit to your husband.
No, you're not allowed to stay at home. I mean, you know what? No one's saying you have to stay at home, but you sure as hell can stay at home if you want. I mean,
what did you see during the election? They're like, oh, don't have sex with your husband.
Yeah, if you vote for Trump. I saw that, and I saw the women saying that too, and I was like, I don't think they're having sex with anyone anyway. So.
That was a game that, and I'm pretty sure the CIA or one of these agencies over here played in Liberia.
Yes, I heard about that.
This woman elected, I can't remember her name, but she was after the soccer player. For some reason, I'm blanking on their names.
Yeah.
Now, and she's like, don't have sex with your husband if they're not going to vote for me or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
And that's how she won. And then she embezzled all of this money, and her son got all this money. And you wonder why there's all this corruption because you're listening to these type of people.
Yeah.
How are you listening to this? Listen to what I need you to listen and hear what they're saying. They're telling you something that is very, very not right. Like, I mean, if you just sit on its face, like there's something like you gotta take pause when they're telling you stuff like this.
Exactly.
You know,
and to listen to people like the View, the host of the View, sit there and say the only can you believe that black men and Hispanic men voted, for a guy they know is a racist. They know is this, and it's like you've never spit out any facts as to why he's a racist. You just go with he's a racist.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, you have one of the hosts.
The Charlottesville or the Central Park 5 or whatever. I don't see any of those things as racist.
Not at all.
One, the Charlottesville thing wasn't a thing.
That was a false.
Two, the thing that was said about Central Park 5 did not necessarily.
No, they had admitted their guilt at first. That's why. I mean, it was like
right, and then they admit it. Yeah. So I mean,
what were you supposed to say?
Well, but this is the same thing that happened to Trump, right? Like it was trial by media.
Exactly.
So those kids got tried by the media. The media said they were guilty, so everybody felt that they were guilty and were up in their eye.
Correct.
And then the same thing we saw happen with Trump. Trump is a fascist. Trump is a Nazi. That's what they said.
But there's no reasons behind it.
But that's why everybody's gotten behind that. Again, it's a trial by the media. You know what? They got a special on Netflix. Netflix doesn't sponsor us, and I got lots of words for Netflix. But they have a special on Netflix called Trial by Media, and it's a good special.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's a documentary,
Well, like you said, I mean, they go at you. Listen, there's a lot of people who are educated who don't like Trump's policies, who don't like Trump for a real reason. And that is perfectly fine. You can have your opinion. Just like if you don't like Harris for particular reasons, but to not like Trump because he's a racist or a Nazi when you have no idea of any policies is insane. Just like if you're not liking anybody for certain reasons because of what you've heard or memes you've seen or posts you've seen. It's nobody does their own research anymore on anything. First of all, when you have lies and hoaxes that are still going 7 years later after the fact, when it's literally like a 2-line thing.
Excuse you, he colluded with Russia,
right?
You know, it was like,
and the Charlottesville thing,
that's
the one that gets me.
You know, but so they talk about, they say, oh, well, he's racist. And how could black men be treated? So you know what somebody said? I said, who is it? Claudia Tenney. Now, I know family, some of you guys feel some type of way about her, okay? I don't feel some type of way about her, okay? And I love Mario too, but I don't feel any type of way about her. She's always been nice, kind, and supportive of me. I know everybody has their. Well, I know because I know some of my people are watching and listening, and they're gonna have some stuff to say, and they're gonna give it to me later. So, but anyway, she's already treated me pretty well, so I don't have an issue with her. But I posted on her page. She's like, "Yeah, they're gonna deport all these people, whatever. We should start deporting them." I don't know. I don't even remember what she said.
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah, absolutely." I said, "Whatever help that you need to deport them, you let me know. Sign me up, okay? Sign me up, okay?" And somebody came on there. Somebody I don't know. One of the gay so-called gay white people, I don't even know. They just had like the gay flag in their banner or whatever the case is. I don't know this guy from Hole in the Wall. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like that's a bad analogy for this conversation. But pause.
Yeah, true.
But I don't know him from nowhere, from a can of paint, and he's out there saying, "Oh, well, you bootlicker, you this, you that. How can you betray your people? My people,
Your people,
those ain't my people,
right?
My people ain't from no other country but America. My whole family is from America since before America's been America. I don't know who you're talking to, sir. My family has fought in every single war or engagement, military engagement in the history of this nation, even predating the nation as being a unified country as a whole.
He's not deporting any American citizens.
What do you mean, my people? My people ain't not near one of them got no relation to me.
Yeah.
Okay. And as strongly as I feel about legal immigration and the issue going on with the refugees are a very big deal to me.
Yeah.
Because I know what they have to go through to try to get let into the country. And when we got all these people hopping a fence or hopping a border to try to get in here, that puts them more on backlog.
Correct.
They're in these horrible trades.
You're cutting the line essentially.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Many of them have been waiting for years and years and years. You
exactly.
should see some of these camps that they got over in the Congo or what do you call it? Over there in Somalia and stuff like that over there. And it's insane and it's sad. And people have been there for years trying to get sponsors, trying to get all their paperwork done and everything. And now these people come over here like this.
Right.
And what we forget about those people? What about the people who have family members that they're trying to bring over here that they've been trying to get here for years?
Yeah.
Now they can't because they're all at the back of the line because everybody else done hopped the turnstile.
Exactly. And we're talking about people hopping the turnstile that aren't fleeing aggression, not fleeing war. They're literally coming for reasons, which I understand. America's great, but guess what? You got to wait in line. There's a legal immigration system, and we're seeing, we saw people say, well, these Hispanic men and women voted against their own families being deported. No, they didn't. First of all, if they voted, it means they're citizens. So if you voted, you're a citizen. Second of all, what do you mean their families? They could have been here for generations and generations. Just because people are the same color as someone doesn't mean you can still be either a citizen or a non-citizen.
Well, I mean, I guess that precludes, what was it, the 1519 or the 1619 nonsense, right? Because all the Spanish people that were here, that were the ones that they said started everything and whatever the case. So they were here, right? So does that discount everybody of Latino descent that they don't count?
Right.
Is that we're already here in America, Florida, Louisiana, Mississippi, all of those places down there? Does that preclude them? What is the thing here that we're basing this on?
It's not on color of skin. That's the bottom line.
And they're talking, and the guy said to me, and this is what the issue is with white leftist liberals. No offense to anybody that's listening, but direct offense to whoever identifies as that. How dare you? You guys are the ones that are out here saying, calling us all types of racist names and this and that and the third. Like you speak for black people. You don't speak for no black people. You don't tell me what. There's
the most racist person in this country is a far left white liberal who thinks they have to save everyone. They have to save the black people.
We don't need you.
You don't need savings. You don't need savings.
We got our own stuff. We can take care of ourselves. We don't need your
especially
help.
because considering as soon as you tell them you're a conservative or Republican, they turn on you like a pack of rabid dogs. You're a black person. You need our help. Oh, you're a Republican. You're an Uncle Tom. You're this and that. And it's like it's laughable to watch, but it's sad in a sense to think that
it's horrifying, brother,
because they think they're so far above everybody that they need to save everybody.
Better that this is a savior complex. This is real white supremacy. Is
real
white supremacy, and they don't even realize that they're being white supremacists when they do.
They said we need to drop the standards for black people because what do you mean you need to drop standards for black people? You're literally saying you're smarter than black people.
They had a word for it. They had a thing for it. It's called the soft bigotry of low expectations.
Yes, the soft bigotry of low expectations. Exactly. The whole book on that, And it's true.
It's insane. But this is what we're being told. Now we're being told, and me, I'm a local person. Local. I could care more about the federal elections. I really could. I watch all of the C-SPAN and the House floor and the Senate and the committees and all of that. I pay attention to all of that. I watch the press conferences and all of that. But me, at the end of the day, I'm local. So when this whole election with the federal election, yes, I'm a Republican. No, I wasn't. Oh, Trump this, Trump that, Trump flag, Trump that. No. Do I support America First stuff? Absolutely. Do I believe that we should actually do what we can to improve the quality of life in our country and return a focus on the American people? Absolutely. That's what I stand on every single day.
And what I like to see two quality products put out in 2028 from both. What I like to see two young good Americans battling it out that are good choices that people have to pick from rather than the lesser of two evils? Of course I would. But it is what it is, and it sure as heck wasn't going to go one way.
The problem is, and then here we go. Now we're talking about two good products. The problem is, honestly, and I don't care how you feel about this, I said exactly what I said. Let me get real close and deep into the mic and stare into your eyes. Listen, one of the major problems that we have in our nation right now is that Christians, as a very serious group, one, do not come out and vote in the numbers that they need to. Two, do not vote on biblical principles or standards and what will carry us forward the best. And three, are not cultivating the leaders that are based in scriptural values that we need to guide and lead our people, because we are supposed to choose our own people to be our leaders. It's like no taxation without representation, or like Malcolm X, don't let your enemy teach your children. That's what we're doing. We're letting the enemy lead us. We're letting these people that are satanic pedophiles lead us. And it's a very serious problem. And then we wonder why everything's screwed up and why we feel like everything's going to heck in a handbasket. And that's it right there.
Well, you saw that it was a reboot of, on the whole election was basically people were fed up with, and rightfully so, the left's blaming themselves, the far left, because the far left is what dragged them down. The far left has taken over for the last 8 years, and this is what they did. The far left stole, kicked Joe Manchin out. The far left kicked people who are centrists out, and they basically, I said there's a lot more in common between a centrist Republican and a centrist Democrat than there is a centrist Democrat and a far left Democrat. They're worlds apart. By the way, did you see Josh Shapiro came out today and said he turned her down for vice president?
Oh,
he came out today. He goes, I didn't want it because I didn't want the job. He came out and said it today. I was like, oh, okay. So she didn't pick, Walz. She actually kind of was forced into Walz. But it's interesting because I felt, basically he knew she wasn't going to win this election.
I thought Kennedy the Younger would have been good. He's in House of Representatives.
Yeah,
I think he's in House of Representatives. I thought just because the appeal and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course. Yep.
And he's young and he's a Kennedy and he's got red hair and
right.
He's got all these traits.
He's pretty crazy, but
he talks like Boston.
Yeah, they all do. All those Kennedy stage,
So I mean, right? No, but that, I mean, as a
the problem is distinct appeal to it. Yeah,
is he wasn't far left enough. He was too close to being a normal human being.
Exactly, and I think those guys like Josh Shapiro and them, Wes Moore turned her down, and they turned her down because I feel like they knew, the writing was on the wall, and they wanted a shot in 2028. That's the bottom line, is they didn't want to play second fiddle to someone who was going to lose an election. Rather, they want to go in there in 2028 with a fresh start and the ability to possibly be president. So, she ended up getting not too quality VP candidate there.
Terrible,
I mean, terrible. he was awful. If you couldn't oh my God, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. This guy, yeah, right.
The only one worser than her would have been the high priestess Kathy Hochul, or
oh man,
what's the other one name? Michigan name.
Gretchen Whitmer.
Gretchen, whoa,
she's horrible.
Man,
she looks like a witch.
I was just gonna say,
she does. She should be on a broom.
I can see her and the high priestess together cackling together over a culture, over a child sacrifice, because that's what they're all about. Deleting all the babies and having you eradicate your young and stuff like that. It's monstrous.
Well, that was another thing about the whole abortion thing. No matter how you feel, the point was that they went too far with it, and they went to the point where that was their main issue. And it wasn't the main issue on a lot of people's minds.
It's the economy.
It was the economy, stupid. And for them to push abortion as the number one thing, and they expect 70-year-old grandmothers to go out and vote, on abortion. No, they're not voting. They're not going to vote on aborting their grandchildren.
What was it? $7 butter, right? That's what did it. The $7 butter did it for everybody.
It was insane. Like I said, whether you're pro-choice or pro-life, you can't think that was a winning strategy to go full bore. Maybe in 2022, when it was the Dobbs decision was fresh on everyone's mind, it was something that played out. But now it's, people know how it's working. It's working with the states, whether you agree with it or not. That's how it is. If you live in New York, abortion's going nowhere. So, there's been more abortions in the last 2 years than there was the previous 2 years before the decision. Anyways,
more have been aborted than have been born.
That's true. Yep.
That's a serious, crazy, sad fact. But also, if you're talking about the butter, if you guys know somebody out there that's about that beef tallow life, and wants to be sponsored the show, please let me know. Okay, because I'm all about that beef tallow. So if you know somebody that's selling it that wants to help sponsor, I'd be happy.
Well, I don't even know what it is.
Talk
What are you
about
talking about?
beef tallow. So it's like beef fat to cook stuff in. It's McDonald's used to cook their French fries in.
Oh, it just gives it a nice flavor.
Oh, it gives it a great flavor. I was
cook everything in it.
Yeah, cook everything. What?
Toasted it and everything.
Oh man, everything. It's delicious. You know, I feel like we're doing the advertising right now.
I'll weigh like 320 pounds in a month and a half if I got that stuff.
Listen, I know you be eating everything. You're like, oh
everything.
Man. Like, did you just put the cereal in the beef tallow?
You're like, was that T-shirt that tight on you last week, Brian? Jesus.
You know, but it's and this goes into the health conversation about what we're eating right now. And they've got Robert F. Kennedy in there talking about he's going to shred the FDA and look into the shot people and the stuff. Did you see that the CDC lost 48 monkeys that were infected?
Did you see that? They were
highly contagious diseases.
They were little things too, man. Some of those monkeys they said were like 8 inches tall.
The Rebus monkeys.
Yeah, if they were sitting in my driveway, I would have taken one in. I would have been like, come on in, bud. You know,
nah, man, I don't mess with no wild animals.
Especially monkeys, dude. Monkeys, you know, there's nothing good comes from a monkey.
Listen, was it the 12 Monkeys, the movie, right? You know,
it's just like that movie Outbreak and all that stuff.
Outbreak.
There's just nothing good's gonna come from a monkey.
Or like AIDS.
Yes, exactly. Patient Zero.
You know,
Patient Zero was doing something.
Monkeypox.
Monkeypox. You know, nothing good comes from a monkey. Either that or they're gonna rip your arm off and beat you with it.
Oh, but they're so much stronger and they're smart.
Tear your face right off.
You can't trust them.
And then they'll cut up next to you while your face is off.
This is why I don't mess with cats. Cats are untrustworthy.
Unpredictable.
They're untrustworthy. And they look down on you and they try to get up on a high place and look down on you.
And then you pet them and they act like they're all cool. And then all of a sudden, oh man, they'll scratch you or bite you or something.
And I feed you. Why are you looking down on me? Listen, you go and take it.
Dogs, you know if a dog's pissed, it's gonna growl at you and you're gonna be like, all right, buddy, all right, cool. But a cat, it's gonna be like, oh,
you got better luck with a snake than you got with a cat. Honestly.
About equal, I'd say. Better luck with a rabid Rottweiler.
But that also goes in to talk about the animals and what happened with the DEC killing Fred the
oh my God, how about that one? That was awful.
Peanut the squirrel.
That was awful.
But this is in a Democrat state, Democrat-run state.
Exactly. Talk about military, a military state. I mean, that's like the epitome of it. You went in, this guy had that thing for 7 years. You know it doesn't have rabies. He's had it in his house for 7 years. That would be the longest case of rabies in history, times a million. And so to go in there, but not only did they go in there, they raided his house for 5 hours. He went to the bathroom and they checked under the toilet, under the toilet.
For cameras and everything.
They were making sure he didn't hide anything.
Why are you looking for his cameras?
You came for the squirrel. You came for the squirrel.
You know, what are you looking for? I mean, at least if there's some there, you let somebody know. What do you think is happening?
It was insane to me. I thought maybe I was reading. I was like, there's got to be something else.
He was like, they wouldn't let him feed their rescue horses or anything.
No, they wouldn't let him do anything. They wouldn't let him. They had to sit together. They wouldn't let him leave the couch. He had to go to bed. Like I said, they had to check in the bathroom when he left to make sure he didn't hide anything.
Checking out the wife's immigration status.
Yes, and she's been here.
Wait, the Democrats are checking out somebody's immigration status?
What are they going to call ICE and detain you? No, they don't do that there.
What's going on here?
That's crazy.
I thought New York State was a sanctuary state.
They don't detain people until ICE gets there. They let them go.
People. It's just insane.
It was insane. I thought maybe it was like the Onion or whatever that's called, one of those parody things. And I'm reading it at first, and I was like, this can't be real. And then I'm listening. I'm like, what they think he was going to do? We came for the squirrel, but we're going to follow you into the bathroom in case you hit a bundle of heroin.
Maybe they were using the animals to smuggle
taping little bundles of heroin and stuff to fentanyl to the stomach and letting them run.
He was running a drug trafficking ring with flying squirrels or something.
But he's had it for 7 years. So we had to test it for rabies, but we have to kill it to test it. So that's really a catch-22 right there. I mean, so you're going to test it for rabies, but you got to put it down.
And I guess there was some complaint or something from somebody that didn't like him. That was
great. There's always a complaint from someone.
I mean, but this is what we get and stuff like that. This is New York State.
So knock on the door and be like, "Can I see your squirrel real quick?" Okay, cool. Looks all right. Good. Instead you take 10 freaking law enforcement agents and have raid the house. Like that. Wonder if they swung through ropes in the window and everything. It's crazy.
But bang down the door or whatever the case
Seriously.
is. But it's insane.
It's insane. Talk about government overreach.
And this is what we get more and more of in this so-called Democrat-run state.
Yeah, it's big government. I don't care who you are. Big
Shrink
government
the
does not
government.
help you.
Shrink the
Big
government.
government does not help you at
Small
all.
government. Small local government
Yes.
is where it's at. Shrink the government.
Keep more of your own money. You know, work. If you're working
Oh, you
hard,
know I'm all
keep
about
more
that.
of your own
Abolish
money.
income tax and the Fed while we're at it.
Especially the state income tax right off the bat. There's no reason for it. They make enough money without the state income tax.
That's what I say
There's
all
no
the
reason
time.
for state income tax. And we're getting shredded here in New York with state income tax when you can move, you know, a couple states over and you're good. And you're
Ain't even that far, like Maine.
Yeah,
This
you're
New Hampshire, I don't even know if New
15%
Hampshire
more of
has
your
tax
paycheck.
anymore.
I mean, these people are making over $100,000 a year. Ultimately, are getting 48% after everything taken from their paycheck. And $100,000 ain't that much anymore. You know, it's not like you're rich if you're making $100,000
I
a
saw
year.
a thing the other day, and it said for the American dream now it really costs $4 million.
Wow.
I don't know how.
Where can I get that $4 million?
Their math. Well, this is what I'm saying. Their math was a little foggy. Like I got the point that they were trying to make.
Yes,
you know, because the cost of the house, because you can't really own a
Yeah,
house.
sending two kids to college.
The cost of your car, because
Yep.
you can't really own a car that's gonna last, and now you gotta buy more cars.
That's the other thing that the new policies might be able to write off the car, your car payment interest, which would be nice too. That would help out. Anything like that would help out.
Well, I mean, it's usury, bro.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Usury.
It is.
Usury is against my religion, so they shouldn't be able to charge me any tax.
Exactly.
I'm serious. I think that's a lawsuit. Whoever wants to take that lawsuit, I know a whole bunch of Christians that are joined in with you. We got a class action lawsuit waiting right there. They can't charge us tax. They can't. I mean, not tax. Shoot, they can't charge us tax either. I got a thing on tax. I'm gonna talk about that. They can't charge us interest because it's against our religion. You know. So also when we talk about taxes, if they taking my tax out of my check, I need you to give 10% of whatever you're taking out of my check to my tithes, okay? To my tithes, okay? Because it's my religion and you taking my money. I didn't approve of you taking my money.
Yeah.
If it was me, you ain't taking none of my money. I work hard for my money, and then I got to go to the store and I got to pay sales tax.
Right? You got to pay sales tax. You got to pay gas tax. You got to pay all this tax.
Energy tax.
Energy tax. And and like we said with the interest, they front load, especially these subprime interest lenders. They front load the hell out of their interest. So you think, oh, I've got a 3-year loan. I've been paying on it for a year and a half. I should be half done. And you look and you barely made a dent because they front loaded all your interest. I mean, that should be illegal. First of all, that's ridiculous. Interest should be stable throughout, but it's just how these companies work.
It's a very serious problem. But I want to, if you guys are watching us right now, take 2 moments, hit the like button, share, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, or if you haven't followed the page yet, wherever you're watching us online, do that. And make sure that you hit the like and hit the share. I want to see the comments light up, because the more comments we get, the more the algorithm will show it to other people. So even if it's just a hi, a wave, a thumbs up emoji, whatever you do, put that out there. That's what we need to see. And definitely share. Share it like 5 places. Share it to some groups. Share it to your friend. Share it to your enemies.
Yeah, share it to anybody.
And anybody that's listening on the radio, make sure that you let everybody know Mondays, 2:30 to 4 p.m. The Divide on WRFZ 106.3. Tune in. We got this. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, we let's get into the amount of money advantage, not just Harris had over Trump, but locally when we see these races. I'm talking about. Let me use for example, Jim Van Bretterode versus Jeremy Cooney. When he has all that money coming in from downstate. Jeremy Cooney's got the money to send these poster-sized mailings to my house and all over, that say Jeremy Cooney and Bash Van Bretterode, when Jim didn't have half the money he had. And it's hard to win a race, especially a local race, when you are crushed on money. There needs to be some sort of regulation. I hate regulation, so I hate using that word, but there needs to be some sort of regulation on where money can come from for local races, in my opinion, because it's insane that downstate can fund these people so much, where downstate has nothing to do with that.
Don't get me started. That's the real problem. And none of these people up here that are in the state assembly or the state legislature or the Senate, none of them are willing to buck downstate, and their policies are completely different.
Correct. Completely different.
Or
a completely different area.
If it was up to me, we'd split it into.
It should be split. I said that for years. It should be split.
Autonomous regions. That's what we would do.
It should
Western New York, Central New York. At
least 2 regions. I mean, at least downstate, upstate, for Christ's sakes, because I mean, it's insane I mean, look at the taxes we're paying in
I
Monroe
fully
County
support
taxes. I
New
mean,
York City becoming its own state. Okay, if we can anything north of the bridge, we can.
Of the Hudson, yeah, Hudson Stop. They don't think anything exists on anything.
I know
anything west
everything.
of the Hudson
That's what
anyway. So
everybody thinks.
in
Anyway,
New York City, they thought. I mean, my friends in college, I remember them thinking they're all from Long Island. And they met me and they're like, "You live on a farm?" I'm like, "What? Do you live on a farm?" I'm like, "No, I don't live on a farm." They're like, "How many stoplights do you have in your town?" I'm like, "I don't know, like 1,000." Like, I don't know how many stoplights I have in my town. They're like, they thought we were still riding horses and buggies and stuff up here.
Where can I get one? Because the gas and the car
Right?
prices.
It wouldn't be so
Listen,
bad.
Donald Trump, please do something about that because this is out of control. I'm about to go get a horse. I'm
Horse
not
and
joking.
buggy.
I'm not joking. I am not joking. I've already done the calculations and the math.
Oh yeah.
And the housing for the horse and everything and stuff like that.
1 horsepower horse.
Like, yeah, I'm trying to tell you. Listen, and then the only thing is I need a buggy too. So then now I need to find a place for the buggy to put the stuff in. Because I'd ride the horse myself, but I need to carry some.
Well, if you have a date too, you got to throw in a buggy. You can't.
Yeah, exactly.
Horse, it's gonna hurt her, especially if she's wearing a dress.
Yeah. Well, she can ride side saddle,
Yeah, true. She can ride side saddle, sit on your lap or whatever. Yeah, but you got to have a covered buggy if it's raining, stuff like that. You got to have wooden wheels.
It's terrible that we even listen. I put some rubber on them bad boys.
Yeah, right. You get rims and everything.
Yeah,
spinners on the buggy. You get hydraulics and everything. It's like,
listen. Pimp my buggy, right?
Yep.
Oh my goodness,
that'd be sweet.
We should do that.
That
like
would be sweet.
Amish show
and just rock it around the road.
just like a 4 episodes
right
of Pimp My Buggy
miniseries.
Like, and it wouldn't even be like anything crazy. Like, we keep the buggies and the stuff for the Amish and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, we'll donate them.
We'd be like making it like look cooler and stuff like that. Maybe we paint some flames on
or your favorite sports team or something like that. Like, we'll wrap it. We'll get a company to sponsor it and wrap it. It'll be sweet. It'll look real nice.
It's funny, but it's also not funny.
Spoiler on it.
But it's sad because we're talking about this, and it's largely serious because the prices of even car ownership have skyrocketed under this administration.
The average price of a new car is $50,000. It's insane.
And then you're looking at car payments. Everybody's paying like $400 a month.
We try to get a pickup truck.
Listen, and then the pickup trucks don't haul nothing.
No.
And they're so pretty.
Right?
They're so cute.
If you get a used one, it's still like $700 a month. Yeah, they're so pretty and cute. They got the new ones like the Rangers and the Colorados.
Look, cute. If I am not able on a flatbed to fit a whole piece of plywood down on the flatbed flat, something wrong.
They're like, here's a pickup truck. They're like, it's got a 2-foot bed on it. Like 2 foot.
Yeah.
My truck, my SUV's got bigger than 2-foot bed on it. Come on.
Then because of all of the crazy onerous regulations from like the environmental people and stuff like that, I forget the ones, the Department of Transportation and stuff on emissions and stuff like that. We can't even get the small fuel efficient ones from like Japan or anything like that.
Exactly. Yep.
Not that I endorse it. I think it should all be made here. But I'm just pointing this out. Not only are they lower cost, but they're more feasible, and anybody can use them. But they're not even the smart cars.
No, they're just
real basic. Real basic. You can haul something. You can drive something. Get from point A to point B.
Exactly.
What we need. Oh boy, I'm gonna hear it after I say this. What we need is a car that every man can afford. Okay, we need to have a car that every woman can afford. They're trying to push us so that we're not able to drive freely. No, restore freedom of mobility in the United States of America. Yeah,
car, it's ridiculous the price of cars right now. Like I said, trucks. My dad wants to get a pickup truck, and he's just like, look at it, and they're wanting like $10,000 down, $500 a month. It's like, dude, people don't just have 10 grand to sit in there to put down and pay an extra $500, $600 a month. If you don't put anything down, you're paying $800, $900 a month.
It's crazy. Let's talk about the terrible policy here locally. We were talking about it earlier in the elections and how those turned out. Unfortunately, locally, we didn't have any Republicans win.
No, we got swatted, right?
We got I think it was the only one who won was Judge Stacey Romeo. Congratulations, Judge.
Congrats, Judge.
I appreciate you. Go do some great, excellent work.
If I ever get in trouble, just know I congratulated you.
And don't do that. It's equal justice along the line.
Equal justice under the law.
So but this is the problem. Right now, there is no reason that we didn't win these seats with everything that's going on.
Correct.
But one of the things that I look at is, for instance, the policies of let the criminals run wild. Right now, this morning, It says somebody was shot not far from here on Bartlett, and they're recovering right now.
Yeah.
There's
a 15-year-old shot yesterday, the day before.
What? It's all types of stuff, and I'm interested to see why that house blew up this morning.
Oh yeah, see that in Greece on Stone Road? That thing just blew up. 3 people in the hospital.
I'm interested.
I'm interested to see that too. Like, was that intentional or was it set by someone? Like,
there's so much stuff going on. All of these terrible policies allowing criminals to run wild.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's a very serious problem. But if you guys are watching us online right now, make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe. Okay, and share and get this message out there.
You guys are listening to my voice. I can barely even talk.
Make sure you tell your friends if you're listening to tune in on Mondays, you guys. Let's get this viewership and this listenership up and skyrocket this show. Let's make it happen. Also, you guys can always drop me something in the kitty. Drop me something at Cash App, $MW Real, the number 1.
You can send me some money too if you want. I'm not running for anything. I think just
well, I'm not. That's not for. That's just for me to do. Do what I do normally.
You just send me money so I can do stuff too.
Really?
I'll send you my Cash App later.
No, what's your Cash App?
No, I don't need any.
You better put it out there. Listen, is it your birthday, Brian? We'll send you a Cash App. No, but seriously, because it takes our time and our energy.
Absolutely.
And we give up time and energy to do this at no cost. And we really would like to get some new equipment.
Yeah, if you do it,
things
if you do
like
no sponsors. Yeah, if you do anybody looking, you own a local business or you have friends that own a local business, please get in touch with me 585-802-0757. And we talk about sponsoring the show. I mean, it's definitely a low cost option that'll get your business some attention and get it out there and market it well. And it's, like I said, it's a low cost option to do so. So 585-802-0757. Get in touch with me.
Right. Or you guys can reach out to me, 585-678-1011. That's 585-678-1011. Because we'd like to grow this following.
Absolutely.
And make this show bigger so that more people can hear what's very important. We have a lot of honest and serious conversations. We do a lot of what we say in a joking and jocular manner. But this is very serious stuff and topics we talk about. What do they say? You got to laugh to keep from crying, right?
And it helps it hit. Like we're talking about with Kennedy. It's the way he says stuff. It helps it hit. It helps it land. People remember stuff more. But in the same sense, there's a lot of serious stuff. There's a lot of real stuff that if you're not listening to the show, like, you probably don't even know because it's never talked about. It's stuff that's literally never talked. You could watch Fox News. It's not on Fox News. It's not on CNN. It's not on MSNBC because it's stuff that is either local or is just, for some reason, the media doesn't want to talk about it. So, I mean, yeah, the show, we try to talk about stuff that isn't just a plain, oh, well, Trump won the election. This, this is, everyone knows Trump won the election. We don't need to go on with this.
Oh, man, you know what we got to get into? Oh, before we go too far, I want to talk about this. You guys that live in Monroe County, so I had a suggestion the other day. So just yesterday, I'm going to send a letter. Your letter's in the mail. Listen, it's coming, okay, to the sheriff and to city council and the mayor. I said, dear Sheriff Baxter, I have an idea about the truancy with the schools. We used to have truancy officers.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So if we don't have enough manpower in the city, they can't hire people, whatever. We can't do that type of stuff, right?
Yep.
But I said, since you're the sheriff, you can deputize people.
Correct.
So I'm sure there would be people that would volunteer for that.
Yeah.
And you can deputize them to do specifically that. And this is something that we could do that might actually move the needle. Now, I'm not saying it's a solution.
No.
I'm saying that, we had it. It used to work. Why don't we at least give it a shot?
It's something. It's definitely something. It's definitely not as safe as it was probably to be a truancy officer, nowadays. But showing up at someone's house, boom, get shot or something. But like you said,
you got a good chance to get shot
walking
in the middle of Greece.
Good chance walking out of my car after the show.
Walking out. Look, you could be in Irondequoit, middle of Irondequoit.
Oh yeah.
No, you could be in
that bus.
I was just the bus.
Got his window shot out.
Boom. Crazy. Or you could be in Irondequoit at your home and get your throat slit along with your kids and your house burned down.
That's crazy.
What is going on here?
I can't believe that didn't get more attention to it.
Because it was an illegal alien.
Exactly.
We still don't know what's going on there. Exactly. And the FBI was supposed to investigate. We don't know nothing. We're the state police. What's the investigation? What's going on there? There's something more that's going on there that's not being told, that's not being talked about. And I don't for a minute buy that if it was one person, that's the only person that's out there doing crazy stuff.
No, definitely
You know
not.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
That's
for sure.
it's
I mean, obviously there was a huge situation there. I don't know what, I mean, usually drugs are involved, something like that, but it's like when you have people who are willing to do that stuff, I mean, I'm sure he's not acting on his own. You know, I mean, there's definitely people there's higher ups telling him to do that stuff. So I'd like to know the whole story on that one. That's crazy stuff.
It's really crazy, and it's a serious issue. But again, these are things that we have, and back to the thing with the truancy thing. And I suggested it. I'd like it, Mr. Baxter, I'd like a response back. I'm going to send you an email, and I'm going to send it to the city as well.
Yep.
Because I think that is a real, tangible step forward. And maybe it's not the solution, but it is at least worth a discussion. Yep. And I'd say maybe we set up a town hall to do something about that and see what the people think.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a digital town hall.
If the parents are on board.
I think, yeah. See if the parents, because we have a very serious truancy issue,
yeah,
and a lot of parents don't even know what's going on.
No.
Even, and here's the deal, even if the truancy officer just called the parents to let them know the kids are.
Maybe that mom will be like, all right, I know where this kid hangs out. You know, I'm going to find my kid, you know, and just slap him silly.
Yeah, you know, they don't even have that at schools. Most schools won't even call you.
No, they don't anymore. We used to, I mean, you used to get a call by like 9 in the morning if I was there.
Exactly. You know, little Joey's not there. You get a call, you know. They'll call you after your kids missed like 75% of the days of the school year.
They're like, you know, tomorrow's the last day of school. You know, it's like, he's missed the last what? How many days?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember my mom would be forget to call him. I'd be sick. By 8:30 in the morning, they're calling. You know, where's Brian? Is he okay? My mom, it's insane.
I guarantee you that we could get some people that would be willing to just even volunteer time to do just that. That's it. Just call home for the absence.
Yeah, seriously. Just send a list, you know, for people who aren't there. At least make calls.
Yeah,
you don't have to show up at the house. Make some calls. Yeah,
that's it. Let's start there. And again, you could deputize these people to do that type of stuff.
That's a good. I mean, that's a real good idea. I'd like to hear it. I'd like to see what Sheriff Baxter has to say on that. Yeah, I'd like to have Baxter on the show.
I was just going to say, Baxter, you're welcome to come on the show.
I'm going to get in touch with him. I'm going to get in touch with him on the show for sure.
You're welcome to come out.
I have a lot of questions for Sheriff Baxter. Not bad questions. I just have a lot of questions, in general. I'd love to ask him a bunch of questions.
Listen, but this is the type of conversations. We need solutions, man. Everybody's out here complaining or bickering and whining.
Well, how do you get solutions when you vote the same people and over and over in the same area?
This is what the problem is, and they create the problems and then they sell you the solution is throw money at it.
Yes, exactly.
If the solution was throw money at it, Kamala would have won.
Dude, you can literally copy Jeremy Cooney and Harry Bronson and Democrat Meeks. You could copy their flyers from this year. I guarantee it. The next term, the flyer will look exactly the same because they're going to have the exact same problems they're running on it, and nothing's going to change.
They don't want to fix the problems because then they wouldn't be necessary.
Correct. Exactly.
I mean, and then the people might actually be happy.
Right.
And they might have a reason to actually say, "Oh, well, we can be prosperous without the government."
We don't need your help. We don't need the welfare. We don't need this.
Now they're sensationalizing stuff, talking about he's going to abolish the Board of Education at the federal level. Yeah. Somebody was like, it's going to get rid of your IEPs, your individual lesson plans, or I just abbreviation wrong or whatever. I think I was abbreviating something else. But it doesn't matter. Same difference. Yes. Special ed stuff. Yeah. It's going to get rid of your individual lesson plans or whatever it is. Education.
Schools are supposed to be run at the local level.
Yeah, I'm like, that doesn't come. You think that the federal government is making individualized lesson plans? Like, are you like?
You think it comes from Biden to your teacher?
I got an island to sell you on the sun. Okay, if you got that, I got some wet sand to sell you at the bottom of the sea. Come on now, stop. Stop it. And what were we talking? 81, 79, something like that. When we had it come in, and since that time, the educational quality has dropped so terribly.
Yeah, in almost every area too.
Because it's local where it matters.
Exactly.
Nobody's going to tell me that if I live here, right, that the people in Penn Yan, right, that the economy in Penn Yan is completely different than the economy in the city of Rochester. Yep. The economy in Greece is completely different than the economy in Parma.
Yeah.
The people there will best know what quality of education, what things need to be focused on for the kids to be successful in the areas where they are. And then you know what the worst part is? We look at them, we send them off to colleges to do this and do that. And then all the colleges teach them stuff that they can't even come home and bring home with because there ain't no jobs for that.
It's insane. Yeah, it's insane. Some of these majors they have now in the classes they're taking now, it's crazy.
Excuse me. I love my major in ancient Greco-Roman
Right.
mosaic art. Okay, how dare you?
I remember when I was looking at my major in college, I was like, okay, how many jobs are available in this area, in this area, in this area? Because I didn't want to come out and be stuck with, you know, nothing. But nowadays, it's like they don't care about that. They don't look how many jobs are available in, you know, in racial and ethnic studies.
No, gender studies with a minor in fascist socialism. Like
exactly.
stuff like that. Like,
it's insane.
Where are you working? Where are you going to work? How many jobs are there for that in the world, more or less in the nation? Like, what are you doing with these things?
What are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with that? Gender studies. Okay, great. I mean, how about majoring in just normal things like communication or business or engineering?
You know how many engineers we need? Don't get me started.
We need so many engineers. There's so many jobs. You know how many jobs? There's still so many jobs available that are in the upper middle class and middle class area, because the jobs that they're reporting on every month are they're all government jobs. They're all part-time jobs that have been added. It's insane to think.
Or the healthcare, which is heavily subsidized.
Yes, very. Anything that's subsidized is no good.
I shouldn't say healthcare. You know, disease maintenance.
Yeah, you're talking about like that, like the EV area that was subsidized by the government. Oh, there's a market. If it needs to be subsidized, there's no market for it yet, and there probably won't be one. So whenever you hear jobs created by government subsidies, those aren't really jobs created. They're going to be lost as soon as those subsidies stop and there's no market for it. Those jobs are gone.
It's a very serious situation in what we're dealing with here now and today. But people don't want to have the real conversations of, you know, back to the whole situation with policy. These state level offices matter, and this year we saw a lot of people didn't come out.
A
lot of people didn't come out. I told people from the beginning, and I got shunned for this and saying this, and people told me, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." I was like, "I know what I'm talking about because I am talking to thousands of people, and you are not talking to anybody outside of the 5 people that you know."
Yeah, right.
You know, I'm like, nobody's coming out to vote, you guys. And they're like, "Oh, well, it's a presidential election. It's people are coming out to vote." We got what? They said less votes than in the previous 20 years or something like that.
Like 17 million less than last time.
It's so much less. And I'm like, see, it is a record low turnout, which is exactly what I said in the beginning, which isn't me being pompous or anything like that.
It was a product of it was a product of what was put out there.
If we talked about this and had the real conversations that are necessary to begin with, we could have nipped this in the bud.
But there was a lot of ballots that were filled out without the down ballots even being filled out as well. There was a lot of presidential things, oh, we're going to vote for Harris or Trump, but then they didn't vote for you or or the chief or whoever, because they just didn't look and they didn't flip it over. A Prop 1 passed, so it's it's a whole mess. New York State is New York State, and Kathy Hochul's on to protect it from the federal government. And Pritzker said, "You dare come into Illinois, you're coming through me." And like, what do they think's gonna, again, fear mongering.
Prison. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's these people are crazy. I encourage you guys to like, share, and subscribe if you're following us on the line. Drop some hearts, hit some comments, let us know you're watching, give us some feedback, or even just some emojis. But it's the problem is when they do stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
I remember when they when the Supreme Court overturned the Monroe County, but the state thing for making it a may issue state to make it a will issue state.
Yeah.
And Kathy Hochul said, "I don't care what the Supreme Court says.
She said,
I do what I want." This was a press conference, a live thing.
And she said
that, and then she said the U.S. Constitution does not apply here. I do what I want.
Yeah.
And I'm paraphrasing lightly, but that's essentially
what she said.
And this is on a press conference. Like, this is public that she's saying to everybody. So, and they get out here and they talk about fascism and authoritarianism and stuff like that. And these people are talking fascist talking points and authoritarianism. And you got the nerve to talk about other people. These are people that are right
Phil
here.
Murphy really thinks that the federal government's coming for New Jersey? Get out of here, Phil. You're just trying to stir everyone.
Isn't New Jersey burning to the ground right now? Nobody gives a care.
No, I mean, come on, New Jersey.
Nobody gives a care.
Isn't the ocean gonna rise over New Jersey anyway?
Nobody cares about. And let me. And this is, I know some people watching probably from Jersey. But let's be honest. Most of the people that live in Jersey don't want to live in Jersey.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's not like you don't retire and go to Jersey.
No, I've never heard.
yeah, I'm gonna retire. I think I'm gonna head to Jersey. You know,
I've never
you
heard
retire
that.
out of Jersey, like just like you retire out of New York. You know, it's just
The
like
Garden State, right?
yeah, the Garden State, something like that.
I don't even know. It's sad, like nobody cares about, and this is not me being like, is it pandemic?
Oh, we're gonna get in trouble like when they called Puerto Rico the garbage. You know, now we're calling Jersey garbage.
I didn't call Jersey garbage. I said it's a garbage fire.
Yeah, right. A dumpster fire.
No. If you will quote me right. And I didn't say that originally, but I said it now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the leadership there is trash.
It is trash.
Okay. Yep. The leadership there is trash. The economy there is trash.
Remember when that truck driver won over that head of the state senate?
Yeah.
Like a truck driver spent like $1,000 on his campaign.
And the way that they treat people in the state is largely trash.
Horrible.
So I mean, and it's literally on fire. Yeah. So all the trash is on fire. Yeah, it's like, so I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
People move to a state where they're not getting strangled by the state. They would actually see how different it is.
It would be nice to see New Jersey return to focusing on family and more so
and production, manufacturing, in the areas of Patterson and the area of Newark and stuff.
Let's ask Siri. I'm not a big fan of Siri. I'm more
Reuben Hurricane Carter was from Patterson.
Right. I'm more of a fan of Google, but let's see, because I don't even know what industries are in Jersey. Hey Siri, what industries are in Jersey?
She don't even know.
She don't know. Oh, she says
New Jersey's major industries include the production of chemicals and the manufacture of electrical and electronic equipment, textiles, food, toys, sporting goods, and stone, glass, and clay products.
Okay.
This is from Britannica.
I don't know how. Well, it's from the encyclopedia,
like
right? I don't know how old that information
is. From the encyclopedia. I don't think they manufacture no textiles anymore.
No, that's what I was gonna say. Clothes and stuff. No.
And doesn't Corning do all the glass?
I don't know. But the fact of the matter is that if you look at matter of fact, I can pull it up. I don't even got that. Hey Siri, what number in quality of life is New Jersey?
52.
The state of New Jersey is ranked at number 49 in quality of life.
Enough said.
The second state with the worst quality.
What's the worst one?
I don't know.
So you ask you what the worst quality, what state has the worst quality of life?
Hey Siri, what state has the worst quality of life?
California is ranked as the state with the worst quality of life.
That's where New York is.
The state is ranked at number 47, with a voter participation rate of 39.5%, positioned at number 1.
But that's the problem.
There you go. Just 39% people voting.
And 38 respectively.
Wow.
The natural environment for California.
Hey Siri, what number is New York State on quality of life?
Okay, I found this on the web. For what number is New York State on quality of life? Check it out.
She didn't do a good job on that.
Yeah.
Hey Siri, what is New York State on the number out of state's quality of life?
Okay, I found this on the web. For what is New York State on the number out of
what
state's
is New York State
quality
rated quality of life?
Check it out.
It's not showing up the same type of information. It's not showing anything. So
New York State by 51.
Out of all the 50 states,
they're 51.
Listen,
Guam's out.
Right. All of the other things.
American Samoa is right up
above there. The Virgin Islands,
just ahead of New York. Man, but that is funny. See, you have 49 and 50, California and New Jersey, two of the states with the lowest voter participation and the most
that justifies our statement now.
Exactly, and the most heavily regulated states in the union.
And the regulations are smothering businesses.
Exactly, and the taxes are extremely high. Their taxes are insane. They're ridiculous in those states. I mean, it's same with New York State.
It's absolutely insane what we see with again, this goes back to the squirrel and DTC and everything. In these Democrat-run states, they don't give a flying monkey's uncle about your life, your quality of life,
and these
how much they're pulling
away
from you. Yeah, and the bureaucrats run everything.
They're unelected.
All of the departments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can get a bill from one of the departments and they say that you owe them money that you don't owe them.
Exactly.
And they don't even have to take you to court.
No, they can enforce it. They have their own court.
That's what they got their own court. That's not even real court.
It's like the state liquor authority. State liquor authority, when we owned a bar and restaurant for 16 years. And if we got underage drinking or so anything, any kind of violation, we go to the state liquor authority court. So it's like, wait, so that person making the decision is for the state liquor authority. We're trying to fight this $10,000 fine. What chance do we have? Of course, they're going to rule for the state liquor authority.
It's unconstitutional.
It's unconstitutional. You shouldn't be able to regulate your own regulations.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at the state assembly. They voted to raise their own. The state assembly and the state senate. They voted to raise their own pay.
Yep.
How? That should have been on a ballot initiative for them to raise their pay. How do you get to raise your own pay?
Right, of course I'm going to vote yes. You ask me if I get my pay raise, I would say yes. Of course I want my pay raise. Who's voting no?
I'm telling you, I'm going to run again. I probably will run again. And run again, I will vote no on every single pay raise for the state assembly. That is a promise.
I will donate my. No, I'm not going to do that.
I'm not going to do that. Because plus all the heaven I'm going to give them down there.
How many year term is it?
It's 2 years.
State assembly's 2 years.
It's 2 years.
The state senate's 2 years.
State senate's 2 years.
I'm coming to run in here.
I'm coming. Watch me come. Pause.
Yeah.
But you get the idea. I'm
coming for you.
Yeah, also, still pause.
Yeah. Still. Ladies, I'm coming.
It's not over.
Look into my eyes, ladies.
It's not over because you know why it's not over? Because I know for 100% fact the same issues with education gonna be here and be worse. The same issue with the crime. Most of the people gonna be pushed out of their homes and it's gonna be worse. Everything that we're having as issues now, because of the way that New York State operates, it's gonna be worse. Yep. And we're gonna have the same issues and having the same conversation. They've been fighting poverty in Monroe County and in the city of Rochester for like as long as I can remember being alive.
The same bad areas on Clinton Avenue, Joseph, been the same bad areas for the last 3 decades, 4 decades.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't doing nothing.
Nothing.
And now they're trying to push people out and buy up all the property and redevelop everything.
Yeah.
But where do these people go?
Exactly.
They don't have anywhere to go.
And you're not changing the education system. You're not changing you're not getting criminals off the street.
They don't care about the education system, and then because the education system is a failure.
It's a street belt. Yeah, we can have a whole show on the education system here, especially with the rich ass RCSD. I mean, they got so much money, they don't even know what to do with it.
And then I saw Adam Urbanski make some comments or whatever on the news. I think it was 13, talking about, Trump's going to get rid of the Board of Education on the federal level, and it's not going to be good. Weren't you the head of the teachers union?
Yeah,
don't you have? Isn't he a doctor?
Yeah, he's a doctor. Yeah, he's
right. Like who's retarded here?
Yeah.
Like what is going on?
That's insane. It's insane. You're the guy that teaches the local.
Like don't play in my face. What they say? Don't take a piss and tell me it's raining.
Right.
Okay, it is actually raining outside.
It is raining. I don't think it's
yeah, no. But still, but don't tell me that nobody know. Tell me what the Department of Education does. Nobody can tell you. Nobody, not even a teacher can tell you what the federal Department of Education does.
They control funding. That's what they do.
That's it. It's ridiculous. It's more money for more bureaucrats, for more overreach, for more imposition on the people.
And that's what I want to see. That's the biggest thing I want to see out of Trump. I want to see him shred the regulations, and I want to see him shred all these bureaucrats out of office. There's so much fat we can just cut out of the federal government. And if he sticks to his word and does that, whether it's Elon Musk or whoever he wants to hire to do that, people can on the left are bashing Elon Musk like crazy, but the guy's the smartest man in the world. Let's be honest. I mean, this guy's a genius. He sent a rocket ship up and back down, to the same spot. I mean, that was just insane to watch. But I mean, listen, the fact of the matter is, there's a lot of fat that can be cut in this government. It's insane.
I'm very concerned about some of these technocrats that are surrounding Trump right now. I do not trust them. Okay, I know people are like, oh well. You should trust these people, whatever. I don't trust Elon.
Really? I do. I like him. I trust him.
I can like him as much as I want to.
I trust him. I think he's.
Do you think, honestly, for a second, given his upbringing, given who his mother is, given who his father is, given that he is completely out of any class that you actually could ever get into, do you think that his concern is honestly you?
No, I don't. But I think his concern is is justifiable and it's in the right place. I don't think he's necessarily concerned for me, but I think he's concerned about what affects me or what affects.
Now, I don't think so either because he said different. He said his concern is humanity. Okay.
Humanity. Okay.
And that is a loose.
Yeah, it's a
loose term, right? But the point of the matter is he's an expert. You just said it. He's an expert. He's the smartest man. Whatever. We are giving these experts too much power. That's what happened with BRICS. Fauci,
True.
Walensky.
I think if you could,
all of
I think
these
if you could
departments
funnel that into something like him, doing some kind of audit on the federal government to
But
see where the fat is.
where we're going is towards a technocracy, okay?
Yeah.
A technocracy, and that's not a good thing.
No,
because it's where the experts are in charge of everything.
Yeah, you don't want that.
And we
Experts
know
are just
they're expert in
they're expert on this one side of the equation.
As the English say, and I'm gonna bleep it because it's the radio. They're all the experts are experts in F all.
Yeah.
That's it. No, but that's what it is.
For every expert, there's an expert that says the opposite. So
so because they're so stuck in their one view and whatever the point is, and I see more and more of that throughout the government. And the technocrats don't care what party you are. It's all the same for them. Because they're all part. Again, they're all part of one group.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They're all going to the same parties. They're all married together, and everybody's cousins is somebody else's cousin.
Oh yeah.
So they all got the same bankers and everything.
Yeah.
Come on now, what are we playing at? So, but it's not just him. It's what's his name? And I'm gonna take heat for this, but I said what I said. Y'all watch out for JD Vance. Keep an eye on him and Vivek. Okay.
I like both those guys.
It doesn't matter if you like them. I'm telling you to keep an eye on them.
I think you got to keep an eye on everyone in politics.
I am telling you,
for sure.
Listen, I promise you, I believe very firmly that he is the person that they put in as a protection if Kamala lost. So pray that Trump stays alive for the next 4 years and can implement what he can do. I pray he makes it through the inauguration and everything with that,
me too.
and starts to get this stuff in. Him and Vivek, especially Vivek, with him talking about, God and all of this and all of that, and he ain't even Christian. Y'all let this man play in your face like that? Don't play in my face.
Yeah, Vivek likes to, he can definitely play it up for sure. He'll tell you what you want to hear for sure.
Oh man, I mean, it just
he's a great speaker though, man. He'll sell freaking.
But that's the problem.
That's the problem. Exactly. He is for sure with that.
It's snake oil. I don't believe that. I don't believe that there is any there with him except himself and his family. It's also interesting that JD Vance's son is named Vic. But
right. That is crazy. I heard that.
And I also,
I like Tulsi Gabbard. I think she's in the right spot. I think she's there for the right reasons. I think she has her own views. She doesn't agree.
I don't trust my judgment with her.
Really?
I don't trust, because I think that I think that if she was younger, I'd marry her.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
I get googly eyes over
that's
her.
what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. I don't know that I can trust my judgment with her.
I see her. Maybe it's just when I see her, I'm like, oh, here comes Tulsi.
She's a strong woman that is determined and means it, and I'm just like, stop my heart.
I'm gonna be like, listen, Brian, you can't come within 500 feet of Tulsi Gabbard. You sent her too many letters.
So I don't know. She seems like she's right. Right, but I don't know. I can't.
Sure, they're all politicians. You never know, man. I mean, you never know what's in any of their heads. They could be playing games all along.
My favorite quote was the quote from Joe Biden, where he was running for Senate, I think the first time.
Yeah.
He's like the youngest senator ever to run or whatever, get elected or whatever at the time. And the guy was like, oh, well, you're not corrupt and that's a good thing or whatever he says. I don't know that you should assume that I'm not corrupt. And this is a quote. This is a stone cold quote from Joe Biden, and I'm like, but that gives you pause to really start to think about all of these people.
Yeah, people can sell it. People can sell it. People can sell an image, real easily and be completely different behind the scenes.
And then people will be like, oh, well, what about Trump? Well, I see exactly what Trump is about. He's about himself. He's about making himself look good. And he clearly believes that to do that, it's to make America look good.
Yeah, he's got the narcissistic personality, but he's gonna at least he's aiming in the right direction.
His concept is that the better that he can make America, the better that he looks.
Correct.
And that aligns with me because I'm all about America and I'm in America. Yeah. And you make America better, make it better for me. Thank you very, very much. You understand? I wish I could say the same things about other people.
Of course, yeah.
But that's why I like Rick Scott.
Oh yeah, Rick Scott's awesome.
That's why I like him, because we need more people that I believe and can believe that are for the people. Because I've been watching them. You know what I'm saying? I seen how and I'm not gonna beat the vice president elect down. But I saw how he treated Trump before.
He did.
And I did like how he did get him to what for in what was it with a train spill?
East Palestine?
East Palestine. I did like how he gave him what for on that.
Yeah, for sure.
But the concept that concerns me is I just don't want him to be a Dan Crenshaw.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I like Dan Crenshaw. I
but
really
he's got
like
one
him.
eye.
But he's
You don't know where the other one's looking.
but he's done some very you know what I'm saying?
Same John Thune too. I mean, look at I mean, whatever else he's doing. Yeah, he's done some crazy, sneaky stuff. You know.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I don't know.
And then Romney's gone. That's a good thing, but
if we can get McConnell out, you know, get somebody else in there. I don't know.
If he doesn't freeze up again.
You know, I mean, I don't know who we would run there. I don't know much about politics where he's from.
Yeah,
where's Kentucky?
Kentucky. Yep.
I don't know.
Kentucky's weird because they get like a Democratic governor, but they're super red. You know, it's interesting. That Cameron lost.
I liked Cameron.
He was awesome. He was the attorney general, and then he ran.
I like Cameron. I got some pictures with Cameron.
It was but it was a big thing with the Breonna Taylor thing. You know, that with Cameron, that I guess that's kind of hurt him a little bit. But I mean, it's not like he did anything wrong there. I mean, he's put the investigations.
There was a lot of other stuff going along with that, and I don't want to talk about it on the show because that's not what we're here to talk about today. But there was a lot of other very interesting stuff that went along with that, like the guy that she was messing with wasn't no good. All of this other stuff.
Oh yeah, there was a whole thing. And her ex-boyfriend was getting packages sent to her house that were filled with drugs. And
the question is how much did she know?
Exactly. I mean, you get packages sent to your house. You have a low-life boyfriend. You know, it's like
I mean, but this is another sad story about females in our country that seem to go for a very low element of society.
And then they get corrupted, and
it's terrible. It's terribly sad.
I mean, you know, if your boyfriend doesn't have a job and he's making good money, you know, and he's getting packages sent to your house,
terribly sad. Well, maybe they're like, what's the guy's name? Birdman. What do you say? And all his stuff is in his mother's name.
Yep.
So, but the fact of the matter is, if we're going to drive America forward, the only way that we can do it is it's forget the federal level, right? Like, we can barely impact the federal level. We have to look towards the local level, the city, the town level, and the state level. And we have to get active. We have to get involved. We've got elections this year. There's going to be town board seats. There's going to be supervisor seats. There's going to be all of these local elections coming up this year that people need to get involved in or maybe even run. I don't know. Maybe you should run.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm looking at that.
Look, town council, city council. We got city school board. I know almost every district around here has a school board race this year. Yep. Most school boards, except the city, are early. I think they're in like March. It might be May. Somebody, if you guys run for school board, drop a comment. Let me know what's going on with that, so other people know too. But yeah, so that's early, and then nobody comes out to those. In the city, definitely. It's a little different, a little better, because at least it's at the same time as the regular election.
Yeah.
But still,
the other ones you get like 1,000 people to vote for the whole thing. It's crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah, my voice is telling me this show's over.
Well, you know, you lasted longer than you thought you were gonna. We got what, 10 minutes left?
Show, but
we got like 10 minutes left. You know, so it's man, they're gonna talk about more rain.
Of course, we're talking about what they should send some of that downstate to those fires.
I was gonna say.
How about that kid that died, man? He was 18-year-old. Parks and Recreation guy. He wasn't even like a firefighter. He was just an 18-year-old summer job.
That, so I got
yeah. He was a really good athlete going to college. Like, I mean,
is that like the guy with the Buffalo shooter, where the security guy made a car that ran on water, and then he just ended up in the mass shooting?
Yeah.
Is that like that? The guy.
Right. Happened. That's like that. What's that movie? With Tom Cruise, where they just did a mass shooting to just cover up the one person they want to shoot.
Yeah.
That's what they do. You know?
But that stuff like that happens.
Oh, absolutely, it happens.
Like or wait, that doesn't happen.
Yeah. No.
That doesn't happen. But you know, we're going to be interested in seeing who ends up getting these cabinet positions, you guys, because that's the real power in the presidency, is who they put in charge of these different departments. We've got the Housing and Urban Development. We've got the Department of Energy. We've got Department of Defense, Secretary of State. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Secretary of State. Oh, the guy, what's his name? Is it DHS or is it?
Yeah, the Homeland Security.
Is it Homeland Security that he's doing? What's his name?
Hammond. He's awesome.
I love that
awesome.
guy.
He was like,
you work for me.
Yeah, he's crazy.
He's like, I am a taxpayer. Yep. You work for me.
He's great.
That was great. No, he's really good. I like. And then with these deportations and stuff coming up, the states and the cities are like, we're not going to participate in it, but it's illegal. Like you guys are like allowing illegal stuff and encouraging illegal stuff. If you guys are following us online right now, hit share, hit subscribe, drop a comment, make some thumbs up and some heart emojis, put whatever in the comments just to let us know you're watching, and definitely share. And if you haven't subscribed yet, definitely subscribe or follow, depending on what platform you're watching us on. Now, as we continue and start to wind the show down, we really need to make sure that as this next election cycle comes up, you guys, if you're listening to this show, I encourage you to get active. And it's not really about what party you're in. It's about finding the people, the candidates that are running that match the values and policies, especially the policies that you see need to be addressed. Not the ones with the policies that you like the most, the ones with the policies that are implementable and can actually effectuate real change in the places and issues that we need. So we look at things like the day-to-day issues with inside different towns. Like I know Gates has some stuff going on that they're talking about certain financing for some projects and some building stuff that people aren't too happy with. I know in the city, people aren't happy with a lot of this reconstruction that they're doing and stuff like that. And in a lot of things in the city, right? Because the city budget just is coming out and stuff like that. Oh, and speaking of something, I talked about my suggestion for the sheriff and the truancy thing a little earlier. If you didn't catch that, please go back and catch the earlier part of the show. But also I suggested something I was on the mayor's budget call the other day. And I suggested that what they do is they put money in the budget for tutoring. They put money in the budget for tutoring at our rec centers, and that's not a thing. Explain to me why that's not a thing. I don't get it why that's not a thing already. You would think that they would have tutoring at rec centers, and it's just not a thing. So when I was little, I went to Swan. If you guys are in Rochester, you might be familiar. And I also went to the Boys and Girls Club. And with both of them, they have programs like that, or at least had programs when I was little like that. And to me, those are just rec centers. So why don't we have that as a whole thing at our rec centers? Like, why is that not a thing? And that's that's the major suggestion that I made to the budget. Something small, but also practical. And this is what we got going on here is we need more practical ideas that are implementable that will actually start to move the needle in a better direction. Because if we don't, we're going to miss out on everything. Nothing is going to change. And the issues that we see are going to continue to be issues. That's why we as a community need to come together. And I encourage you, if you guys are in Rochester, in the Monroe County area, I'm working on some stuff and we're going to have a big meeting soon. So I encourage you, go to my website, Marcus4Rochester.com. That's Marcus4Rochester.com. Sign up on the volunteer page and I'll keep you posted on what's coming up, because we got to move the needle in Rochester and Monroe County. Things are not going good and we need to fix it before it gets worse. So my concern is the people, and it's very clear that our elected officials don't care about you. You don't matter to them, but you matter to me. And that's why I continue to fight. That's why I fight so hard. That's why I know many of you are concerned about the elections and the election integrity and everything like that. And that's why I still run. That's why I still fight, because I know that if I can shine a light to show some people that the darkness exists, maybe I can encourage more people to shine their light. And the more that we come together, the brighter those lights get, the more darkness that we can dispel, and the more real change we can effectuate. Listen, I appreciate you guys tuning in today. And if you want, please do drop me a little something in my Cash App, $MW Real, the number 1. Okay, the digit 1. So I love doing this show and being able to talk to you guys. I really do. I really do. But we would like to expand this show. We'd like to get some more actual equipment and stuff like that. So soon we're going to be doing some sort of a fundraiser or something. We'll try to look to see maybe a give, send, go or something like that to raise some money to get some more equipment and stuff, because we're doing this for no cost. We're not, well, it even costs us a little bit, but we're not making any money off of this or anything like this. We're doing it because we care. I care, because you matter to me, because our city, state, country matter to me. And I want to do my best to fight for you because everyone matters, but they don't matter until we make sure that everyone's voice is heard. You guys be blessed and be well. And remember, stand up, speak up, and don't shut up. Take action. I'll catch you guys later. All right, you guys. I'm getting ready to get out of here. But if you could, whatever you can, do a little bit of a donation to my Cash App. Real, not that. $ MW Real, the number 1, the digit 1. So $ MW Real, the number 1. All right, you guys, I'll catch you guys later. We got more shows coming up. Remember, Sunday from 6:30 to 7:30, we've got Elephant in the Room with Marcus C. Williams. Monday, we've got this. I'm going to resurrect Let's Talk with Marcus C. Williams. So that's coming soon. We've got some other content that I'm working on coming up with. So I'd appreciate any and all of your donations to help bump and move the needle some. We're going to make this happen. We're going to get the voices out that need to be heard and talk about the topics that we need to. I'll catch you guys later. Be blessed and be well. I love you all.